it's not working that well. I hope. Okay, you can start any now. Okay. Just ignore it. It's okay, too much.
Judges ready? Opponents ready? Ready? Yeah, my time starts now. Okay, let's go through our framework again. The protein, on the other hand, doesn't understand our framework till the summary speech. Let me clarify it. The resolution, so the resolution means that the free committee can either prove that private expansion of gene editing is better than public expansion, or expanding access in the future rather than right now mitigates the harm. Then we urge the con ballot. But the protein, the con protein thing is that we're saying that gene editing is bad, but however, we didn't say that. And also, through our point saying that, through one of our contentions saying that for governmental issues, they said that government is good and the government will not throw their citizens away. However, that makes nonsense at all. What we're talking about is the corruption inside the public healthcare system that burdens all of the economic expenditure on the public health system and does not make any progress through medical research. However, what we're saying that is expanding at the moment to technology to the private sector at the moment will actually motivates the development of the technology itself. And later, when the time comes in which, according to the time frame, when the risks are reduced to the least, we expand them to the public healthcare system. And that literally, let's say, more lives, just like what our opponent said that. On our contention about risk, we didn't say that nothing can have risk. What we're talking about is that at the moment, at the status quo, the technology itself is not innovative enough. Off-target mutations still happen frequently, so that the technology itself can't be guaranteed to save everyone. So what we're saying about is that put these technology into private sectors at the moment to develop the technology, to do research and development, and then when the time comes, we expand it to public healthcare systems to save more people when the off-target mutations are eliminated. And also, in our contention about alternative spending, our opponents didn't give any response to that, as we're saying that a good government, just government, needs to reduce inequality among the country, and also reduce sanitation and diseases, that could cause diseases that are actually relevant towards public healthcare system, in which what they said that the most important thing for the government to do is to saving lives, and what the technology itself is doing here to save lives, as all of our contentions are actually relevant towards the resolution, and that we strongly urge a con ballot. Thank you.
So it is. So we can ask first question.
Yes.
So judges ready? Opponents ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. My time starts now. Okay, so I will ask the first question. Judge, as there are many parts of the gene editing technology, I want the con to prove which of the parts have the risk and which of the parts don't have the risk, or all of them have risk, or none of them have risk.
We said that there are still off-target mutations to happen now.
So our question about which part, not about what risk.
No,
Okay,
there's
so
the general part. There's off-target mutations saying that.
Okay, so if you're saying that there's off-target mutation, I have evidence to prove that there's no that we could minimize the off-target mutation.
Give me evidence.
The scientists stated that gene editing approach can precisely edit the genome at organism level and may not introduce it unintended. Let me finish. And may not introduce unintended off-target mutations.
David Liu, I see your point.
Okay, let me finish. A biochemist with Harvard University and the Broad Institute and a pioneer in CRISPR gene editing stated earlier that this year progress is being made at a pretty stunning stage.
I see your point. So we have a fallback here. We have evidence fallback here. We have evidence saying that according to the FDA saying that cancer cannot be solved by the gene editing technology at the moment, and also according to MIT Technology Review saying that cancer cannot be HIV cannot be solved by gene editing technologies at the moment because there are so off-target mutations happening.
I want to say that.
Okay, now we're gonna ask you a question now. Thank you.
Sorry, we have to ask you a question.
Sorry. You mentioned about the government's responsibility unclearly during your rebuttal in summer. Can you clarify?
So first, I want to say that, Judge, I want to mention is that they cannot prove that every government is corrupted. And also, if you want to talk about this point, I want to prove that like China's government is that corrupted, USA's government is that corrupted. If you cannot prove this, Judge, you not buy your point.
Wait, Judge. In our concept, we have stated that U.S. and European governments have corruption. Please let me finish my response. U.S. and European states have a corruption rate of 3%, 8%, or 10%, which is largely effective on the healthcare system.
Okay, so you only talk about 3 countries.
Okay, so
wait, 3 countries? I have stated that Europe, US, and European states, which is certainly not 3 countries.
So what I want to claim is that the urgent thing for now isn't corruption. Just if there is a little amount of corruption, like you said before, just first first we have to save lives, and after we expand this access, the corruption will.
We are not saying that we are not saving lives. We are saying that we should save lives in the private sector rather than public sector, which is largely in
Okay, so
Japan.
I want to claim is that private health service is more likely to corrupt.
Do you have any evidence?
First out. Evidence. I want to hear evidence.
It's our time to ask you a question.
I'm sorry. I want to hear evidence.
No, I can ask you a question. So first, I want you to say that they are not. So are you saving lives now? Just as this question.
We said that we're not.
You're talking about private or the corruption.
Judge, consider this. Are you going to save
now?
lives with less accuracy now,
No.
or save it with more accuracy?
So
in the
we
future?
will answer this
this
question
time
in
frame
a
issues
final
out.
focus.
We're saying that if we put it into private sector, it can be more efficient and to save more people. And during
Okay, so
technology
Judge,
development.
I'm just saying it cannot save more people in private sectors because it's only a little.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Just run the time. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. So judges ready, opponents ready. 3, 2, 1, my time starts now. Okay, as the final focus, first, Judge shared the 3 main voting issues that you should for process. First, our definition is already winning because public health service means the practice of protecting and improving the health of a community. However, private health service cannot guarantee for this one. And they have always been saying that public health service are always corrupting. And I want to claim is that if public health service isn't improving the health of a community and it's corrupting people, it is not called a public health service. And the second main voting issue is they wanted for more research. However, we have given evidence of true life people are useful, like Laya and the 44-year-old man. And we have proved that it is already useful and the risk is not so high. And only by expanding access can we reduce the risk and the cost. And also, claiming for increasing sanitation and reducing poverty is actually more urgent. But however, this leads to our contention too, because only by improving more healthier agriculture can we solve this problem directly. And also, we can make agriculture more abundant, more better, and more safer. And also, they haven't successfully rebutted our contention to any of them. And we have proved that by solving sanitation and poverty problem is only by increasing agriculture and solving diseases. And our biggest magnitude is preventing diseases and solving diseases. For the entire debate, they haven't given a word of how they can rebut about preventing diseases. We can prevent diseases in advance. We can help people out of suffering. And we can save people of their lives. Our opponents are always saying corruption, but it is not the urgent problem. Most urgent problem today is to save lives. If corruption happens, then we should save life first, and then we could solve this problem. And I believe that only private health services are more likely to be corrupted. And finally, about their framework. Their framework is saying that private health service should be more better to expand access. However, I think this is not true because private health service cannot guarantee that everyone can get this technology, but we can. So all in all, we urge for a pro ballot. Thank you.
Can you use the rest of 2 minutes?
Okay, fine.
Opponents ready? Opponents ready? My time starts now. According to the most reliable dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, public health service means that the healthcare system has to be the government-based healthcare system. So even if we use their definition, we should still expand access in the future. So first of all, their framework is stabilized, and we believe that this framework and the frameworks of us and theirs isn't mutually exclusive. So to our combining the frameworks, it becomes that if we can prove that private sector saves more lives than public sector, or in the expanding access in the future actually saves more lives than right now, then we ought to win the debate. So we believe that we have not only proved that we should expand now, we have also proven that we should expand in the private sector if we were to expand. So first of all, our opponents have shown many benefits of gene editing technologies, including curing diseases, preventing diseases, food sources, and making food sources more available. And we are not saying that we should implement those benefits. We are just saying that gene editing technology expand access in the private sector is more effective than in the public sector, which we have stated in our constructive speech, where our opponents' rebuttal to our first and third contentions are invalid. Furthermore, and thus, if we're to expand, we should expand through the private sector at any moment. Furthermore, our opponent didn't respond to our immunity support on our risk contention, validating this argument. And thus, we should expand access in the future, where they have committed to our point that the resolution has to be right now. If we can save life in a much more effective way in the future, why should we expand access to such an unsafe technology with 80% immunity rate right now? Thus, through conducting more research, we can significantly reduce the risk and thus expand access in the future, or through the private sector. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. 好，我们感谢两队选手的精彩表现。那么我们给裁判几分钟时间把评分单填写完，然后两队同学可以先回座位休息，如果你们的座位还在的话。那么在场呢，我看到好多观众，包括我们原本参加比赛的选手、家长，还有后面很多新来的这个应该是长沙雅礼天心中学的学生，对吧？给大家做一个说明，刚刚进行的呢是我们全国中学生演讲与辩论联赛公开组公共论坛式辩论的决赛。刚才决赛两支队伍，一队来自上海，一队来自深圳。他们的名字我现在手边没有，所以没办法报给大家。一队来自上海上万附中，一队来自深圳贝塞斯学校。那么接下来呢，我们还有一场比赛是新手组的决赛。新手组决赛呢，在裁判准备好之后，我们会进行，请大家稍微坐一下，不要喧闹，也不要走开，谢谢。